I'm Eric Faria, and thank you for watching I Am. Today I have here with me Joane Cajuste, so let's talk some more
Yes, let's.
about your life and your
Sure.
story, which is amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to know what in your life has changed since you've written the book?
Oh, since I've written the
Yeah,
book, wow.
since you got the story out.
Okay. I can't tell you how many people have either sent me a text message, an email, or actually called me and said, "Thank you for sharing your story. I've been actually going through ABC." I knew that I'd be able to help people, but some of the people that came to me and thanked me, I was surprised. I'm like, wow, like this story, my story, things that I'm talking about in this book is actually resonating with people. And some people have even said that, you know what, I started taking some of that action, some of the action steps you suggested. That for me is everything.
Wow,
To know that it's actually impacting others. So that's
fantastic.
what's changed.
Fantastic. It's amazing. And I want to go back to a point that you alluded to
Sure.
earlier. You talked about women being able to look in the mirror and accept themselves as they are.
Right.
I believe from what I live and what we see in our culture that we have an image obsessed culture,
We do.
right? Both for men and women. And I feel that it can be even harsher for women than men.
Right.
Not that men
Right.
don't have suffer under the effects of that. So, what do you think drives that, and how can we change or change the conversation around body image?
I mean, I think the society, what we see on TV, the media, that doesn't help. I think that it's an internal job, right? You know, the standard of beauty that society has out there, or the images that the media portrays. How do I, as a woman, if I feel like I don't fit into that box, what do I need to do to build my self-confidence and self-esteem? You know, because in an ideal world, I would want society and media to portray different images and to have a broader standard, you know, but I can't rely on that. So now what kind of work do I need to do at home first, you know? So that's why I talk about looking in the mirror first and not looking outside for validation and for your confidence and for your self-esteem or your beauty.
Fantastic. And I
Yeah.
believe that it starts with us,
Yes.
right? Looking
Yeah.
at the person in the mirror, accepting that person, and being able to then do the work
Exactly.
because it is an inside job.
Right.
Right? So for you, what was the moment that you decided to actually do the inner work in terms of the self-image?
For me, when I knew that outside things or outside people could no longer fill that void or that hole, or that hole that I wanted to fill. So I knew that I couldn't seek that out from the outside. And the only place left to turn was to do the work. You know, I had to look inside. So when when the outside things could no longer fill that hole, I had nowhere to run. I had to run to the person that I was looking at in the mirror.
And we are at a point in our country, right, where there is heated debate about things that are going on politically, you know, the news that we see day to day. What do you do? What is your spiritual practice to actually keep you present?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like the times that we're living in, your spiritual practice is tested. I would like to say that I'm full of love and light every single day. That's how ideally I would want my spiritual practice to be. But because of this world that we're living in, I have to practice love even more. It's easy to be angry. to be upset, to not want to love those that don't love me.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot afford to live with hate or anger. Does not make me feel good, won't be able to sleep at night. So I pray about it. You know, I kind of try to put myself in other people's shoes. And I know that feeling of hate and anger just doesn't feel good. So I don't want it there. And I can't say, again, every day I'm full of love and light. You know, that's something that I work on. But because I know we live in harsh times, I know it's more important than ever to keep with some kind of spiritual practice. And it doesn't necessarily have to be God, you know, whatever your spiritual practice that's going to keep you from, that's going to keep you closer to humanity, and show love and be love and feel love. You know, I think that's just essential.
I totally hear you. I was just sitting back and absorbing because I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's tough. Mm-hmm. It's tough sometimes because I feel like I just want to scream.
I know.
And sometimes I just want to disappear. And other times I'm like, my mind is so confused and I don't understand why people are still having conversations that I thought we had,
Right.
you know, just been
Right.
over and done with those.
Right.
Right? So I'm an immigrant, right? You're a woman and a person of color.
Yes.
So with those labels, what do you think that the best course of action would be to try to overcome what society has labeled either me or you as?
I think just keeping the lines of communication open, just keeping the dialogue going, whether it's amongst women of color, immigrants, people who don't like women of color or people who don't like immigrants, all of us actually getting together and having a dialogue and realizing that we're alike. We're no different. You know, you're an immigrant. Okay, my color's different. We're no different. Keeping the dialogue open, you know, keeping the lines of communication open, making space for us to get to know each other. Because it's ignorance, right? You know, all that hate is ignorance, lack of knowledge. So keeping the lines of communication open again and just knowledge.
I totally hear you. Yes, I couldn't agree more that it is ignorance, and hatred is born out of ignorance.
Absolutely. And fear too.
And fear too.
Fear of someone
unknown,
the unknown, fear that someone's different from you, and what does that mean for me,
Right.
you know?
Well, thank you, Joanne. We're going to take a
you.
break, and we will be right back with Joane Cajuste, author, speaker, and multifaceted woman.